It's how's thing going?
And that
One
is
thing.
Riz level 100.
One thing. Just one.
Tip for the women. So if you are dating a guy that is a entrepreneur or trying to start his own business or something along those lines, this is how you handle that. Because you have two options. Because she'll be coming down the mountain 80 miles an hour in the rain
Yep.
on bald tires.
I didn't die.
How you didn't die, I don't know. Hey guys, I'm Elijah.
And I'm Tina.
And this is
The Brooks Podcast.
I think that was actually pretty good for the first try.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Okay, so why we started this podcast, to be fair, I'm not 100% sure, other than we both decided to.
Really just out of boredom, I think.
That sounds about right.
Just wanted another reason to like, or not another reason, but just like another thing that we could do together. Kind of like intentional time spent together.
Yeah, pretty much. And on top of that, she's been fully diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
And I am potentially ADHD, which never fully diagnosed. So I also haven't been to the doctor in like 3 years.
Which is really bad for your health.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about that right now. Anyway, basically, long story short, she's into music. I'm into tech. And I figured for our first episode, we would just go over how we met and how we even got to this point in our lives without killing each other.
Which is impressive, to say the least.
It is impressive. Okay, so how we met. Do you want to start off with that section?
Sure. So basically, how we met is we were on a dating app.
I believe it was Upward.
Yeah. Well, so it was called Faith originally, but it was like without the vowels. It was just FTH. But then it got rebranded about like 2 weeks in to Upward.
I don't even remember the timeline of this 100%, but basically, yeah. So Christian dating app, and every single time I tell people we met on a Christian dating app, they laugh at it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like people probably think that it's like eHarmony or like something like that. I don't know.
I mean, how's it worse than Tinder at this point?
Well,
you
that
know?
is true. I mean, some of them folks on that dating app apparently thought it was Tinder. I'm like, I thought we were all trying to like, you know, get closer to the Lord and closer to each other, but it wasn't always the case. Especially the ones who like in their like bio description, they would be like, I'm figuring out my faith, and I'm like, oh, we know
red
what you're
flag
thinking about.
out there.
We know what you're thinking about.
And for the record, yes, we are Christian. We are of the Christian faith. So just getting out of the way now. So anyway.
Yes.
But when we met, I believe you was, well, when we first started messaging each other, you was about to go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at a credit union, but I worked second shift. It was like 2 p.m. to 1 a.m. So not great hours, not very fun. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But it did give me boredom because most time after 6 o'clock, the calls would die down, and then we had like 5 minutes between calls. So that was nice.
Yeah. So there were many nights during us dating while I was at school, and you know we were doing the whole long distance thing, and I would be on the phone like while I was laying in bed, and he would be at work, and whenever he would get a phone call come in, I would just like mute myself so he couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that was fun. But would you like to go over my first message to you?
Oh, yes. What was it again? I think I forgot. Oh, no, I know. It's how's thing going?
And that
One
is Riz
thing.
level 100.
One thing. Just one. Not how's things going. No. How's thing going? I never let him live it down. It's great. But if anyone knows Elijah, knows that spelling and grammar is a little hard.
Even at
Okay.
my church, because I do the media side, and they will literally clap because I spelled something correctly.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Like the church will clap.
Let's not forget whenever you misspelled the word Thursday and then it got fixed and then everyone was like, oh, look, he figured it out. No, it was because I went and proofread all the slides and I corrected them.
That or I spell checked it. I can't remember. One. It happens one way or another.
I'll never forget. I remember seeing it and I was like, what is going on? Because it was spelled THURSEDAY. There's no E in that word.
Look, I can't spell it, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Here's the thing. I may have messed up my spelling, but she still responded.
That is true. So honestly,
That's your own fault.
Yeah, honestly, I should have known what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, that's your own fault. So, anyway, but
Yeah, well, I just think part of like how we met is really cool though, because I had started talking to this other guy off of that app, and I had like deleted the app and everything because we had been talking for like 2-3 months, and I was like, oh, I think this is gonna go somewhere. So I had like taken the app off of my phone and everything. And then we had finally made plans to meet up in person because this guy was from Georgia and I was, still at school in Tennessee, but also, coming home and visiting South Carolina.
yeah.
And so we had made plans to meet up one weekend. I was home. And so driving to Georgia where he lived, it was only going to take me a few hours. So me and a couple of friends had made like a day trip out of it. We were going to meet up with this guy and I was going to meet him for the first time. Well, like 2 days before we were supposed to go, he just like ghosts me. And it was just the dumbest thing. And like, I can't say that I was like heartbroken over it or anything, but
If you put that much time into it, it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I'm like, we've been having like really good conversations. Like, I never once caught any inkling of this man doesn't like me. Like, it was very much, I don't know. I mean, like, we even like watched movies on FaceTime together and stuff. So it was just like weird whenever it was just like out of nowhere, like ghosted, gone. So I like took probably a month off from like talking to boys because boys stupid.
Married boy.
Yeah. But I eventually was like, I'm gonna download this app again, and I downloaded it, and I think I had already like swiped on you a long time ago before that, but after I downloaded the app again, I got the notification that we matched. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to message him first. Like, I'm going to let him message me. And then I think it took a couple of days after we matched, but you actually like messaged me.
Yeah, I got scared.
Yeah. Messaged me. And then, yeah, since that first time you messaged me, there hasn't been a day since we haven't talked to each other.
No, not really. We was pretty consistent.
Yeah. I mean, even on days we couldn't really like talk that much, like, we still said at least like good morning and good night,
Yeah, because I remember at least there was a wedding I had to go to, because we hadn't been dating that long when I did this, because I do video production on the side. So I went to go film a wedding, and I was like, hey, I'm filming this wedding, won't be able to talk much today, but I think I text you at some point like probably 11 o'clock. Then you didn't hear from me again until like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Which for us was very not normal. But
yeah,
it was fine. But do you also want to go over the first time we met?
Oh, Lord. The first time we met was stupid. We were stupid. Would never recommend doing this.
So, kids, don't
all.
do what we did.
No, would not do this at all.
Except for my aspect of it. You can do that part.
What's your aspect of it? What do you mean?
So, go through your part first.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing is that not long after starting talking to Elijah, I found out, these things about him. Like, I didn't know he was albino, but I found out he was albino and that he like had some vision problems. So he's legally blind and can't drive.
Yep,
So
blind as a bat. Have a doctor's note.
So if we were gonna do anything, I was gonna have to go and like pick him up and like, So the first time we decided to meet, would never recommend this. I can't say that enough. Would never recommend this. But I literally drove to this man's house.
Yeah. Also in your mom's van because
in my mom's van because my
broke.
car was broken. Yeah, my car was in the shop, so
Had
I
a broken
drove.
motor mount.
I drove my mom's van because, like, funnily enough, I passed your exit every time I went to and from school.
Yeah, true.
Like, on the way there and on the way home. I passed right by his house. Like,
And right where I was living at the time was like 2 minutes from the exit. if
not
that.
even. Like, not even. Maybe a minute and a half. 90 seconds tops.
It was not far. but
Yeah. So it was like I was driving right past him. So whenever I found out where he lived, I was like, well, I'm about to go back to school. And I was taking my mom's van for the week because my car was in the shop. And I was going to bring it back home the next weekend. So I went to, like, on my way to school, I stopped by his house. And I honestly think 80% of the time that we spent that first time meeting each other, we were outside. We didn't even go in your house.
No, we did go in the house.
But it was after a minute.
We did hang out outside for a minute, which is because I was also like, I want her to feel safe. I don't want her to think I'm trying to kidnap her or kill her or anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a basement at the time, so I couldn't lock you in my basement.
Well,
Did have an attic.
well, I'm glad you didn't lock me in there.
I could have stuck you in the attic, but it's fine. But funniest thing, whenever she pulled up, I didn't go out first. I sent the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a puppy right about the same time we started talking.
Yeah.
And her name is Cortana. She's a giant fluff ball now. But she was a little fluff ball when I first got her. 'Cause
Yeah.
she is a Great Pyrenees and Husky. So should tell you how fluffy she is.
Oh, very fluffy. The hair is everywhere.
But I sent the dog first. And if the dog attacked her, I was just going to be like, nope, you got to go.
But luckily for all of us, not only did Cortana love me, but his roommate's dogs also loved me.
Yeah, it was not my house. I was renting a room. But yeah, I ended up just sitting in the floor.
Yeah, because me and the dogs sat on the couch.
Well, I was also nervous and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because, social anxiety.
Yeah, I'll never forget that first time we met. I was on my way out and you said, "Do you want anything to drink for the road?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." It just hands me a bottle of Mountain Dew. It was great.
I mean, that's all I had at the time.
That's when I knew.
I think I had I kept water and Mountain Dew, and I had sweet tea, but I didn't have a to-go bottle for it.
Yeah. But also, I think there was like part of me that kind of knew from the first time we met. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, love at first sight. But I think there was part of me that kind of knew, like, I don't know if this is the one, but I think this is going somewhere. Because I'll never forget whenever I was saying bye to you that first time that we had met, I like gave you a hug. And anyone who knows my husband knows he is not a physical touch person by any means. So I gave him a hug the first time we met as I was saying bye, and it was like hugging a dead fish. And I looked at him and told him, I said,
it's a 2x4, not a dead fish, a 2x4.
Not really any better.
A dead fish does this. 2x4 just...
A dead fish ain't moving. You were very stiff, so maybe 2x4 is a better.
Yeah, it was hugging a 2x4. Thank you.
But I literally looked at him and I was like, if this gonna work, you gonna have to fix that. Did I not?
Yep, and I still haven't fixed it.
No.
2 years in.
We're a little better about it now.
Yep, 2 years in, still haven't fixed it.
That's been almost 4 years now.
Yeah. Yeah, because we met end of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
No, it was the beginning of 2020. Well, no, it was
the end because it was August because you was going back to college.
No, it was like summer. But because I was gonna say this is our 4th Christmas together.
Yeah, because we did Christmas of 2020.
20, 21, 22, 23, yeah. It's our 4th Christmas. That's crazy.
Scary how time flies. For the record, send the dog out first to meet the girl.
Mm-hmm.
If dog does not like girl, get rid of girl. Luckily, my dog liked girl.
Mm-hmm. Although she gives me the sass now. She don't like to listen to me.
She gave you sass when she was a puppy.
That is true. Oh, let's never forget. I think it was like maybe the 2nd or 3rd time we were there. Whenever we were watching a movie, and because he was renting a room, the only place we could really watch a movie was in your bedroom. And so we were leaving room for Jesus. Mom, Dad, everybody, okay? We were leaving room for Jesus. But we were watching like a Harry Potter movie or something. I can't remember.
My Hero.
Oh, we were watching.
I started showing you My Hero Academia, and we was on like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, we were watching My Hero. I forgot about that. But I'll never forget, Cortana was like, because I was like sitting there crisscross applesauce on the bed, and he was sitting at his desk. And the dog was on the bed with me, and she kept acting like she wanted to get down, but she was so little she couldn't jump off the bed. And so I was like, I think she wants down. And he was like, well, if you put her in the floor, she'll pee. And I'm like, well, she's trying to get down. And he was
wasn't
like,
thinking at the
he was
time.
like, oh, it's fine. I think you were just nervous there was a girl in your room.
Probably.
But he was like, oh, no, it's fine. And about the third time that I was like, I really think that she wants to get down, she peed all over the bed. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta go now.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Because I mean,
Fun
I
times.
would have stayed, but you were so mad at that point that the dog had peed on the bed. I was like, this got awkward.
I was like, well, date's over. All right, let's move on with our lives. But yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I ain't gonna lie, meeting your parents for the first time kind of freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically before the fact, even before I met your parents, they was like, we have a stocking already put up for you.
Oh yeah, no, my well, no, I wouldn't say parents plural. My dad was a little skeptical.
Okay, good. At least someone was skeptical.
But
Somebody better be skeptical.
But
of you
my
about a guy.
mom and my grandmother, I think they were just excited that I was bringing someone home. Had never met him, and he was already the favorite.
Yeah, didn't take long. Which honestly, what won me over with your dad was the fact also into music
Yeah,
because I played drums. So
yeah. Well, not just the music, but also like the tech stuff too, because my dad does computer stuff.
yeah, he's more into the code side of it. I'm more into the physical build an actual computer. Like there's an office computer sitting in our living room that's running as a server for all our smart home stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, sorry about that.
that's okay. It looks cool.
It's an office computer. It doesn't look cool. I didn't put RGB in it. However, you did see my RGB keyboard, which was your second indicator to not marry me, but you married me anyway.
Okay, no, but I did love the RGB keyboard, especially whenever you first got Far Cry 5, because
Yeah.
I loved playing that game in college with my roommate, and then you got it on your PC, so I'm pretty sure I hijacked your PC a lot whenever I would come visit, because
If I wasn't working.
yeah, because I wanted to play, and the RGB keyboard would like light up the colors of the screen. It was crazy.
Which tip for the women. So if you are dating a guy that is a entrepreneur or trying to start his own business or something along those lines, this is how you handle that. Because you have two options. You can either support him, get out of the way. Doesn't always work with relationships for the most part, I would say. Or you support him and you help. Luckily, you supported and helped.
Yeah, I really did. Because I feel like in the beginning, I think you wanted me to be like supportive, but get out of the way. But I'm very much like, if I'm going to be around, like I'm going to be helpful. Like I'm not going to just do nothing. So I would literally force myself upon you being like, what can I do? Let me do something.
Yeah, but there was also many times you would literally just come over and basically just watch me edit or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that is true.
Or just do invoice work because at the time, for some reason, I was doing paperwork for a client because I was just like, hey, more money.
Yeah. And then look at us now. I'm literally like a cameraman on your team.
Yep, so she's come a long way.
I
Had to
have.
train you a little bit, but we're getting there.
Hey, it's okay.
But yeah, so she did good. All right, and so our engagement, because, oh, by the way, before I go into this, I think it was our third date in. No, maybe our fourth. I knew her car kind of ran rough. It was a '08 Ford Focus.
Yeah, it was 07 or 08 Ford Focus. She was blue. She was so pretty. I wish she still worked, but she was a piece of junk.
She was, because with our second or third date, we got back and I did a once over around the car because once I got to know Tina, I was like, this woman ain't looking at the car. Bald tires, barely any brakes. Pretty sure the other motor mount was broken by then.
Yeah, those motor mounts stayed broken.
Not even entirely sure when you had the oil change last.
It had been a long time.
exactly. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to force you to go get tires and brakes
Yeah. Well,
fairly
because
early
see,
on.
here's the thing
And on
is
top of this woman is traveling to Tennessee,
going through the
going
mountains.
to what was scary is the coming down the mountain part, because she'll be coming down the mountain 80 miles an hour in the rain
Yep.
on bald tires.
Yep. I didn't die.
How you didn't die, I don't know.
The power of God in anime. That's all I can say.
It had to be. God was like, I'm going to save this woman for you. Once you're married, now she's your problem. He's like, I got her until y'all get married.
But no, for real. Now that I know more about like car stuff because you've helped me. That's the thing. I was just never taught that stuff. Like I never had to do it. So I wasn't prepared for what it took to take care of a car. Now that I know more, I feel like I'm a little bit better, but you still have to be like, hey, I need you to go get that oil change or
That, or if I have time, I'll just change it myself. So, irregardless, it's still a struggle. But back to where I was going, our engagement, which I actually thought I did half decent,
oh, it was good.
because we went to a All Time Low concert.
In Charlotte. Okay, but let's not forget about the mini freak out before we got there because in order to get into this, okay, first of all, this is how I knew that something was up. Okay, because this is how I knew something was up because Elijah is very much like he doesn't do doctor stuff, okay? Like homeboy doesn't even like getting a flu shot. Okay? So
Nope.
whenever the COVID vaccine came out, he was very much like I wouldn't say scared of it, but very much like I ain't playing with that. Like I ain't touching it. And like I mean it wasn't anything like political or nothing, but he just doesn't do shots, he doesn't do vaccines, nothing none of that stuff.
I do Advil and allergy medicine. That's about it.
Yeah, no, we
It's
don't
not Advil or allergy medicine. I don't really mess with it.
Yeah, so
Probably very bad for my health, but it's fine.
it's fine. But that's how I knew something was up because in order to get into this All Time Low concert, you had to be vaccinated.
Well, no,
with,
it was either that or you had to have a COVID test within 3 days.
Oh, okay.
So I technically could have took a test, but also my work was trying to be stupid.
I'm trying
So I
to
was
push
like,
for the vaccine.
I'll just be done with
Yeah.
it.
Well, because I had already gotten vaccinated for work. And then you were like, well, I guess I'll get vaccinated because you had to have your vaccine you had to have both doses for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever like you went. And so he had his vaccine card with him and I had forgotten mine and I was freaking out and I was panicked. And so then I was calling my mom and I was like, Mom, I need you to go find it and take a picture of it and send it to me. And we were like, I hope that they accept like just a picture of it. I hope we don't have to have the physical card. I was like freaking out.
Yeah. But it worked out. We got in.
Yeah, we got in. It was all okay. I don't think they were actually as strict about it as they made it seem.
They weren't.
Yeah. We ended up spending so much money on food and beverage. And yeah,
it was a lot.
it was a little crazy. But
But to be fair, when do you ever go to a concert and everything's not outrageous?
no, literally. Like I went to the Mariah Carey concert and I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited. Like I'm going to try and get me like a little shirt or something. Like I wanted like a keepsake to take with me." That didn't happen because I got up to the merch table and the cheapest thing that they had was like a cap, like a flat bill cap for $30.
Yep.
And I was like, well, I ain't gonna wear that. And then the next cheapest thing was one of her t-shirts and they were $45 for a t-shirt that I was only gonna wear maybe twice. Like it wasn't good. And then I ended up spending like, I don't know, like $17 on 3 chicken tenders and a handful of fries.
Yeah, that sounds about
It
right.
didn't even include the drink. I had to buy the drink separate.
Drink sold separately.
It was so sad.
Either way, we got into the concert. Everyone's having a great time. The couple beside us The
Oh,
homegirl
they had the best vibes. It
They
was
did.
great. It was this girl that like you knew that the guy was there. Like I don't know if they were like just dating or married or what, but like you could tell that the boy was there to support the girl because he was just standing there and like the way he looked at her and smiled at her the whole time that she was just like singing along to all the songs and she was like dancing. Like even whenever no one else around her was dancing, like she was having the time of her life.
That's how I'm trying to be.
It was so good.
Just exist in your own world, and that's it.
Yeah.
No one else ruined my moment.
Yeah. But no, I think that's what made it so special for us because like whenever we started talking about getting married, like I didn't want like a big like public display or anything like that whenever we got engaged. Like I wanted it to be like a really nice moment just between us. And I feel like even though we were in a room full of people, like you did a really good job of making it like a just you and me moment.
Yeah, because like I'm not one of the guys that's like, okay, let me go on this big elaborate thing of we'll go to the park and we'll go to this and we'll go to that and then I'll propose at this riverside or something. To be fair, you knew that wasn't me.
Yeah. Well,
So-
and that wasn't me either. I wouldn't have wanted that.
Yeah, which then I would have to hire a photographer and too much work. I thought I did have decent because we was towards the back against the wall because it was actually a standing room venue.
Yeah.
But-
So it was like, because you have like the main floor where everybody's like low key moshing a little bit. Like they were all up in each other's business.
Yeah, but I'm not a mosher,
And then,
so
yeah. And then you had kind of like this strip of like open space. It was like a step up. And that's where like people were just kind of chilling. And then it was like, we were right at the barricade where right behind us was like all the like tables and stuff where people were drinking and like eating food and stuff.
well, those tables were like extra money and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought we did good, and I was trying my best to wait for Dear Maria,
Dear Maria, count me in. But they acted like they weren't even going to sing it.
and that's why I got scared.
They really did. They didn't do it until the encore.
And no lie, I don't forget what song I proposed to. I was just shaking.
Yeah, no. Well, see, I don't remember what song it was you proposed to either, but I remember looking it up after the fact and being like, "Oh, that was definitely a breakup song."
Yeah,
But see, here's the thing though, is that I didn't really mind it because right after you proposed and like I put the ring on and like we had like that really sweet moment, and then it's like as soon as I was kind of like my heart rate was settling down a little bit from like the spike of energy, then they started playing oh man, what's the name of the song? Crimson something. Glitter and Crimson.
oh, is that what it was? Mm-hmm. But yeah, which probably would have been a better song, but I couldn't tell what was happening. So
Yeah, Glitter and Crimson was a really nice song. I was kind of glad that it happened after though, but I remember like that first year that like after we had gotten engaged and everything, I kept saying "You're my four-leaf clover" because that was a line from the song.
yeah, but and to go along with the we're more private-ish people, because I didn't get down on one knee in the middle of the floor or anything like that. I literally just leaned over and was like, "Hey, how's the name Mrs. Brooks sound?" and pulled out the ring.
Yeah.
Which she didn't even hear me the first time either.
No, well, I didn't hear you and I didn't see the ring in your hand. And he leaned over and was like saying something to me. And I was like, what? What'd you say? And then he started saying it again. And I looked down and he had the ring in his hand. And I said, oh my God, this is happening right now.
It's a thing.
And I cried a little.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was sweet. I thought it did half decent. Mm-hmm. It's about a $200 engagement, which compared to what some people spend on an engagement session, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
And I got a concert out of it.
It was a really good
Because
concert
we are
too.
both rockheads, luckily.
Yeah, it was a really good concert too. Because not only were All Time Low phenomenal, but they also had some really good openers.
That they did.
Yeah, they had some really good openers. It was very delightful. It was great.
Yeah. And then, so after the engagement, the wedding aspect of it.
Oh Lord.
That,
That was a whole thing. Well, because I feel like because we waited a year before we got engaged.
yeah, which to be fair, your parents met and got married within,
6 months.
and mine met and got married within 8 months
Yeah.
or 9 months. We was like, okay, no, we're like, even from the time, I think like even 2 months in to dating,
Yeah.
we was like, we are waiting a year before we even move forward.
Yeah.
So,
But honestly, even though we wait, I'm glad we waited as long as we did because I feel like there was a lot of stuff that we needed to work through. Like the timing of it and everything was perfect because like that, that October, like right before we got engaged was whenever, well, no, it was like September, really. Right before we got engaged was whenever, we were talking about the possibility of me going back to school. And like that would just have caused like a lot of financial stress. And I don't think we would have gotten married whenever we did, like
No.
if I had decided to do that. And so that was one of those things that like if we hadn't waited, then like that would have happened after we got engaged. And I'm gonna be honest, being engaged was so stressful. If we had gone through that afterwards, like that whole thing, we would have had to wait a lot longer to like work
Yeah.
through that.
but so, I mean, it all worked out fully, but I ain't gonna lie, because the one thing I was trying to go for just us eloping and being done with it.
And I was down. I was down, but then it like turned into like little things. Well, I do want a nice dress. And so then it's like we, looking at dresses, then my grandma was like, well, let me make you some flowers. Like, let me make you a bouquet. And I'm like, okay. And then,
Which it also partially turned into like family being like, well, no, you need to have a ceremony.
yeah.
And
It was like,
note to-
we need to invite so-and-so. We need to invite this person.
Note to future couples, if you want to elope,
Just do it.
just go do it.
Just do it.
And ask forgiveness later. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, because, honestly, like, we definitely could have just gone and eloped and, like, had a great time and then come back and, like, had a party later or have, like, a little ceremony or something later. That would have been fine. But, like, I'll never forget because then it turned into, okay, well, we're going to have a ceremony. We're going to do it at the church. But we were just, like, we're going to be careful about who we invite. So we're not going to invite a whole lot of people. And then your Nana invited the entire church.
Yep.
Literally
Next thing I know,
announced.
there's a thing in the bulletin.
Literally announced it on a Sunday.
I think I intentionally didn't put it on the screen.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So then because she invited the entire church, then I was like, okay, well, forget it. I'm just going to invite everybody now. So then I was telling everyone at work, hey, if you want to come to our wedding.
Yeah, and what's even funnier, more of your work friends showed up than like I guess friends.
Because the thing is like most of my friends were still at school in Tennessee.
That too.
And there was a blizzard that week. They couldn't get through the mountains. So the only people that really showed up were the people that I had been working with. But even then, it was a little questionable if they were even going to make it. And they were actually a little late because I'll never forget, like I was getting ready to walk in, like the wedding entrance song had started and they come in the back door behind me and they were like, oh my God, you look beautiful. Oh my God, you're about to walk in right now. And I was like, it's okay. Go fast. I'll hide. I was like, just go.
Yeah, it all worked out, which there's a video version of this podcast if you're listening to audio only. Prior to the full ceremony, I literally was just sitting in the back in full distress mode. Just
Yep.
It was bad.
Yep, I think both of us were really stressed. And I'm be honest, this might be a little TMI, but my tummy was so upset. Like I get nervous, like upset tummy, if you know what I mean. And so like where I was getting ready was in a nursery and there was like a teeny tiny little like child toilet. And my mom, I'm so sorry. Very thankful for my mom, but also so sorry that she had to witness what was going on that day. because she had to help me hold my dress up. And it was not good. It was not good. Yeah. But luckily she had some of that air freshener spray in her car. She ran out to the car. It was that Cashmere Woods. It was great. Covered it right up.
It's fine. But which I think we got, because we already didn't technically have the money. But so I think we got out with that wedding under $500.
Yeah. I think
the only thing you really
it was,
had to pay for was your dress.
Yeah, I paid
and
for,
I pretty much funded majority of the rest.
Yeah, I paid for my dress and my shoes. And then
shout out to my family, because they did. My grandma paid for the arch thing. Art.
Yeah, she paid the money for the wood, and like got the decorations for it. And then one of the ladies at the church who had just had a wedding let us borrow a lot of her decorations, so we didn't have to buy a whole lot.
Which was actually the lady that I filmed her wedding.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah,
and her dad was the one that built the arch.
built the arch.
And he did, and she tried to pay him for the actual work he did. And he was like, "Nope, I'm good."
Yeah, and then
so the church still has that archway and uses it for weddings.
Yeah, I think it's been used in like 3 or 4 weddings since ours. Yeah. But I mean, it's a really lovely arch, and because it's just wood, like you can drape any colors you want over it and make it like unique. So it's not like everyone used the exact same setup. It was just like the framework for it.
Yeah, and because the only thing, and then I think my mom kind of pitched in with other different various stuff.
Yeah,
and then I used my Costco membership to buy all the plates and stuff.
Yeah, well, because I think your mom. It was either your mom or your grandma, or maybe a combination of both, that got our cake and like the cupcakes and everything. But then all of the women from the church, like Nana organized all the women from the church getting together and putting all the food together and everything. Someone made sausage balls that had one lady at our church in a tizzy. Tammy, if you're watching this, love you. But she had just had COVID before that, and her taste and smell were just now coming back, and the only thing that she could like taste were the sausage balls, and I think she could taste like the wedding mints. So she had to have had more than like 20 sausage balls.
She had a large amount of sodium that spiked her blood pressure for like a day and a half.
Yes,
2 days.
and then she was feeling terrible, went to the doctor, and she was like, "You gonna check my blood pressure? You gonna check it?" And we to this day we look at her and say, "You gonna check my blood pressure?" It's great. It's a nice little inside joke.
Yeah, but in the end, it all worked out. And my aunt actually bought our photographer too, because again, broke people.
Yeah,
still a little bit broke, but it's fine.
It's okay. And our wedding pictures turned out so good too.
They did, which
it was freezing outside.
It was like what, 25 degrees?
Oh yeah, no, it was below freezing. I mean, it was a blizzard blowing through. Like luckily we didn't get any snow, but like
I wouldn't have been mad at snow, honestly.
Yeah, but like up in the mountains it had been snowing, and we got a lot of cold from it.
Yeah, which I know we went to go outside to take pictures, and we lasted like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I had this idea in my head. I was like, we're gonna take pictures at sunset. It's gonna be so beautiful.
And as the video photographer guy I am, I was having this planned in my head, and then it got really, really cold, and I was like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, this ain't gonna work. Well, also, I think it was a little too overcast to get good pictures with the sunset anyway.
It also was.
But I was like, well, we can still take pictures outside. Like we have really nice like pasture kind of thing going on behind the church. There's like a big field in front of the church. And so I was like, we're going to get such good pictures. And I think we lasted outside maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got like a few by the sign and a few by the fence, and was like, okay, we're cold. Let's go.
Yep. Like, let's go.
And then I also own DJ equipment, so we didn't even have to hire a DJ.
Yeah.
We stuck my brother behind it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I think we just put your brother on it.
We gave my brother Spotify, because we made our own Spotify playlist. Mm-hmm. So we gave my brother the Spotify playlist, and my brother and my mom just kind of ran with it.
Yeah, but one of the things that I really enjoy that we did from our wedding is instead of doing a bouquet and garter toss, because I feel like that just really wasn't our personalities to do stuff like that. So
Well, she would have been traumatized.
I would have. That is also very true.
I would have probably been okay, but,
But instead of doing a bouquet and garter toss, like, you know, who's going to get married next, we did something to kind of like honor someone who had been married the longest. And so we had all the couples come out onto the dance floor, and then we were like, all right, if you've been married less than 5 years, step off the dance floor. It's like less than 10 years, step off the dance floor, and kind of moved our way up until there was one couple left in the middle. And that's who I gave my bouquet to.
yeah, which was Tommy Jolly and Marsha Jolly, and which
Good
is
people.
very significant for me too. Anyway, because Tommy Jolly helped me a lot,
Yeah.
and also helped my mom a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think he did the down payment for my mom's first house, which very cheap house. It was on like a $60,000 house,
Yeah.
and it was a fixer upper too.
Well, also, isn't
But-
that like where you lived was on his car lot?
I did live on his car lot for a
Yeah.
while too, and watched his cars and everything else. Like he helped me a lot
Yeah.
in life. So
It was good people. Good
he
people.
also gave me the loan to go to Costa Rica when I was doing that college thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he loaned me the money.
Oh, that's nice.
I paid him back. He didn't charge me interest though.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, so we are somehow still married, haven't killed each other, which next episode will actually be because we are living in a single wide trailer, and we will go over why we decided to do that and how that nearly made us kill each other.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's fine.
That's where we started the whole like, okay, we're gonna have to figure out how to work together journey, because let me tell you, it was about to go down.
We discovered we are not Chip and Joanna Gaines. But
No.
that's for the next one. So, anything else you want to leave the people with? Or are we good?
Well, I don't know. Why are you gonna ask me to leave the last word?
Because I don't know what to do.
I guess
This is our first podcast. We don't know what we're doing here.
we don't know what we're doing. I guess be kind to people, love one another, and don't kill your spouse.
That's good advice. Good
Wise
advice.
words.
Okay, so we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.